Welcome to the Guys Unpacked. This is Dre.
This is Rich, and we are back with another brand new episode for you guys.
Yep.
So before we get started, make sure, as always, you subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms so you can get all our updates. Anytime we got new episodes dropping, everything is at Guys Unpacked.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And honestly, we jumping right into it today because a lot of topics to get to, Dre.
I like to jump in.
No, wasted no
Number
time.
one.
Wasted no time. So, all right, real quick. You outside this weekend?
Bro, it has been a fairly dry Lent. I've been trying not to drink for Lent. I've been drinking a little bit. Haven't drank how much I normally would. So yes. The answer is I'm outside.
So you almost fasted for Lent.
Oh no, so that was one of many things that I was fasting. So the way I do it is I try to hedge my bets, right? So if I do more than one fast and I mess up on like one or two,
all right,
I can make up for it with the other one.
So here's the question: Was there a single fast that you managed to maintain? What was that?
Shopping.
Oh, you did not shop.
I have not shopped at all for like, and it's been killing me. It's so bad, yo. I have.
Well, wait. So when you say shopping, you mean like for like leisure items? Like you obviously don't mean like for like going to the store buying food and stuff. You mean?
I mean, of course, I'm gonna buy food if I buy food. But no, but I mean like shopping for me. Like if I see clothes I want.
Okay.
And it's so bad. Like I have a bunch of tabs open for shit that hits soon. As Good Friday hits, I'm ready to buy. But that totally defeats the purpose.
Right,
because
now you just went and spent all the money you planned on saving. So,
but it still shows a certain level of patience. But no, like I thought about that this week actually. I was like, all right, so I can't really go and just buy everything that I've been looking at.
I mean, you can, but like you said,
it defeats the purpose.
Right.
So I'm not going to buy everything, but there are a couple things I'm buying.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah.
What about you? You outside this weekend?
Yeah, I'm gonna be at Holly party, Born Party.
Okay.
And that's it. That's it for me for the weekend. Yeah, because Sunday, I'm chilling. Sunday, I'm chilling after like I have decided I can only do one event at a time.
Sure.
Like a weekend, unless I'm like. You know, you get like a carnival or something where you made up your mind that you know what is the marathon. So I'm in it for the long haul. Nah, it's gonna be one joint this weekend. I'm probably chilling until my birthday.
Bro, I went to Miami last weekend for Miami Soca weekend.
Oh, you was there?
Yeah.
Nah, hey, nope. You gonna scrap some of these topics. we gonna push some of these. Hold on.
Before we cut
I ain't cutting nothing out. We gonna push some of these topics to the side. Miami.
All I'm gonna say though is like.
Nah, you're not. You gonna say more?
No. Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Based off exactly what you're saying, there's a lineup of events. But I decided I was like, yeah, I'm just not doing all the stuff. So I only went to the All White on the Friday. I went to the Juve the Saturday, and then I went to Press Play the Sunday. And I was like, all right, that's one a day is enough for me, though.
Okay, yeah, because it was 6, right?
For just the actual Miami Carnival, Miami Soca weekend, but then they had other events.
Oh, like other promoters through events within the same time frame.
Yeah.
That's smart. Because it's Miami.
Right.
And you're getting an influx of people into the city.
Yeah.
But it's risky.
It's so risky.
Because the people are coming for Miami Soca weekend. So it's like people are...
And not only that, like, they did a really good job of trying to get all of the artists and all the DJs.
Yeah, because if I have a signature weekend...
Yes.
I'm not trying to let other people throw parties.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Matter of fact, I don't even think Press Play was a part of Miami Soca weekend. I think Press Play that was just a separate. It was Radiance and Private Ryan, so it wasn't a part of the regular lineup. But I mean, that's my boy though. So matter of fact, that party is up in Fort Lauderdale, where everything else is in Miami.
No, you're right because I thought about it. Right? Oh, so real quick, what would you experience the whole weekend overall?
It was cool. I mean, like especially coming after like Trinidad, right? So like itching the party a little bit. I haven't been able to make it out to a lot of the parties that have been in town.
Yeah.
Either daddy duties or just other stuff going on. So the only thing...
And you don't party in the DMV, so...
I do sometimes. But other than like Aftershock in Toronto, I haven't really been...
Because you don't party in the DMV, right? Like, that's all I'm hearing. Like, I know you're saying things, but...
No.
What's the last 3 parties you went to?
Just stop. Stop it.
What's the last 3 parties you went to?
Yo, this sounds like that question from last week. Oh, not last week. The last time we recorded where it's like, so what songs didn't you hear on the road? Like,
right. Like, again... I feel like this is a real simple... What's the last party you went to?
Dog, I can't remember, dog. I don't party in general.
Right. So, but the last ones you went to, none of them were in the DMV. Is the point.
You mean me personally?
Yes, I said in general.
Oh, yeah. So I went to... The last 3 were in Miami last weekend.
Right. Okay. Give me the one before Miami. Give me
after Toronto.
We in what month? We in March. And then before that was Trinidad? Yeah, right. Then you don't party in the DMV, dog. It's fine. Nobody judging you.
Not this year.
Not
this year yet. But last year.
They already wrapped it up for the year. He said, not this year. Like, y'all ain't seeing me outside this year.
No, man. I'm going to be in born to party.
All right, so on Sunday, I'm gonna text you talking shit like, where was you at? Because I don't believe for a second.
Yo, no. I'm not Maurice. I will be there.
Oh, shots fired.
Pew 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 pew.
Wow, and I ain't even hair catching strays. So all right, so okay, Miami Soca weekend. So you said it was a good vibe.
Yeah, it was a cool vibe. Friday was cool. It was just like it was an all white. You know what I mean? Like I do think all white parties are a little outdated at this point in time, but people still love them. So put on some white. There were a lot of I don't know if it was sandflies or mosquitoes, but them shits was fucking me up, right? Because it's like right near some kind of woods as well.
Yeah.
But shout out to them. They had like some bug repellent and shit like by the bar.
They thought they realized what was going on. They knew what was going on. They prepped for it.
Parking was crazy though. It was like $40 to park.
No, that's
in the venue.
That's what Karma charges here.
Serious?
Yeah. Yeah, Karma to park in front of Karma is $40.
That's wild. That's wild.
So, there is a reason people don't like Karma. I mean, that's not the only reason, but it's like
that's one of them.
Because half the time, honestly, that's more than the price of getting into the party.
Oh.
So it's like now you're starting to balance. Well, it might depend on where I live. It's gonna cost me the same amount to Uber or park there. So and even back and forth Ubers, like it might cost me $20 each way. I might as well just Uber. You know what I'm saying?
I felt it because I was like, dog, I got tickets to go to this for free. Like I got comms to go here, but I gotta fucking pay $40.
See, then I don't have the sympathy anymore because it's because I saw people complaining. I didn't know how much it was, but I did see people complaining about like having to pay for parking every day.
Yeah.
And after buying,
so they didn't have to though. And granted, I ended up paying for parking the Friday and the Saturday.
Okay.
But if we paid attention to what was online. If you kept your actual parking ticket, you could have kept on using it. But I didn't realize that shit until after I paid the second day. I was like, fuck.
$80 later. Now.
I was like, how did I pay $80 in fucking parking, dog? At the same place?
Dog, and the tickets wasn't even that. The tickets was like $170 for the whole weekend.
Bruh.
Bruh. I looked at it, I saw it online, and I was like, here's the funny thing about it. It flew so under the radar to me.
Sure.
Because I didn't even realize it was happening until it was happening. And I'm looking at people like, oh shit, folks is in Miami right now. What is happening in Miami?
I was surprised to actually see as many DC people that I saw. Just because I'm just not used to seeing a lot of DC people traveling to, at least the ones I saw, traveling to different places.
I think Miami is a different story. Though.
That's true.
Like Miami's right there. It's easy. And then if you skip Trinidad.
True story.
So now it's like, because Miami Soca weekend came out of the pandemic, didn't it?
I'm not sure.
I think it was that and Carnival Bubble.
I was there last year as well, but like I didn't go for it. I just happened to be in Miami, and then I went to.
That was the year of Dr. Miami. So Miami Soca weekend and Carnival Bubble both came out around the same through the pandemic. Both were birthed by the pandemic. So
I wonder if that'll go over her head.
Maybe.
I'm sure she's gonna fucking like listen to this episode.
Maybe.
Oh, we gonna bleep that shit out. No, I don't care. Go ahead.
So yeah, I'm surprised because I don't know if Carnival Bubble is still happening.
I don't believe so,
but Miami Soca Weekend is holding on despite the fact that the world is open. That's a good look.
I mean, and it's perfect too because it's Miami, right? Like, unless it rains, Miami is the best place to throw something that you're gonna do every year because it's warm all year round.
Nah, shout out to them for keeping it going. That's Dream Team and
Red Ants.
Red Ants, yeah. Now that's a good squad to have behind something. Sinistar, Red Ants, Juve.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to them. You know what's funny is as you talk about that is like I don't want to. Let me not. When you have a weekend where a group is already established,
sure.
And then you try to throw parties in the same place.
So kind of like if there's like a hooky weekend, and then someone decides to throw a party that same weekend. I'm not saying that it's happened, but if someone decided to,
it's different if it's like you're local, because if you're local, the risk is low.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you already have your built-in. If someone came from outside and tried to throw something, hooky weekend.
Yeah. It just sounds crazy to take that risk when there's other available weekends.
I mean, but if you think about it, that's almost the opposite of what Basics did by bringing Shine
completely the opposite.
Weekend and decided to
completely the opposite. Because if you're going into somewhere that has an established whatever setup, and then remember, DC is not like Miami.
Right.
So like Miami, you can kind of, it's risky, but it's like there's people around. There's so much happening in Miami in general that you could still have, and there's such a bustling Caribbean community out there already, so you can still be successful.
You can still figure it out.
I feel like DC don't have the
not anymore.
Right. I don't think it ever had the volume.
You weren't living here, bro.
I'm saying the volume. I'm not talking about. I'm
still triggered by like DC Carnival.
That's trash, son.
Trash. You were never there.
Trash. I was there for enough of it to know it was
trash.
You
were there the year that it was trash.
I was there. Right. So if all the years
I've
seen.
The last year doesn't count.
Not I was there for the last 3 or 4 years.
Even those years don't count.
Right. I hear you. Okay. I'm just saying.
But anyway, continue.
But right. So I'm like, you try to throw your stuff in the midst of that. It just doesn't make sense. So I would not advise it. I would not advise it, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a smart move. So, all right. We're on the topic of Florida. Since we're already there, we're gonna come right back into the topics we're gonna get into today. Oh, before we do that, and I said this on Applying Logic, I don't know what's going on with Mele.
They haven't posted anything.
They have not said a word.
And it's wild because we went the first year. You went last year. I didn't go last year.
I had a good time.
But I was planning on trying to figure out this year.
And during last year, they said, we'll be back here next year. Because I know they was talking about they signed like a long-term deal with the hotel. And they were saying, next year we add in a Juve and blah, blah, blah. So, and they even started taking like pre-registrations.
I'm ready, bro.
Right after. But here's the thing. So if they're doing it, I don't think it can be the same time as it was last year because...
Last year was what, September?
Last year was September, early September.
Early September, yeah.
So now you're not giving people a whole lot of time...
To
plan for and make payments. Because remember, they did a 6-month payment plan for most people. Sure. And the last payment was due like a month, 2 months before. So like the last payment was due in like July or August.
Yeah.
So now if you do it, you're going right up to it. And not everybody is flexible enough to just drop the whole thing for Mele.
One time.
Right. So it's like some people need that flexibility. I don't know if I don't know if they're doing it, if they're going to do it later, if they're going to push it back to next year. So I was looking forward to it.
I hope they do it. So this year is my 40th. So I'm trying to do a couple things. So outside of course, I'm going to do a party here for my birthday.
Okay.
I'm trying to actually get out more, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm already out anyway. But
so you're claiming it now. You're doing a party for your birthday.
So yes, so the Saturday, September 28th, definitely.
Okay.
And I'm looking at doing potentially something Sunday the 29th. The Sunday 29th will probably be like a Mojitos reunion. So I already talked to the boys about it. Everybody's cool. We're doing something that Sunday for the Mojitos reunion.
Okay.
But the Saturday will be, I'm thinking something like a Eyes Wide Shut meets Inception kind of vibe.
Okay.
So already talked to the venue, finalizing contract.
So you organizing, putting everything out in the air from early.
You got to, because for what I'm trying to do, I'm going to have to put everything out early so I can start selling tickets early, because we know DC is
it's not going to buy tickets, right?
Yes. Right. But like if you let people know ahead.
You have a better opportunity. So all right, y'all heard it here first. Dre's birthday weekend, September 28th and 29th. At least September 28th and 29th. Yep. The DMV. Yeah, if you got time to make your plans, take the day off, set your travel, book your hotel, get a rental car,
Uber.
Make up an excuse.
We getting fucked up.
Get your Uber, make an excuse for your wife, your girlfriend, your side chick, your husband, why you're not going to be in town that weekend, why you got to go in DC. Tell them it's a conference, tell them it's a trip, a girl's trip, a fella's trip, whatever you got to do. Make your way to the DMV September 28th and 29th. We gonna call it what? Eyes wide open weekend?
Something like that.
Dre go figure out the name and
for sure.
And we got time. But
either way,
something
those 2
happened.
days are gonna be during the day too, because we can't do that late night bullshit.
Oh yeah. Yo, shout out to everybody throwing daytime parties. Yo, I can't stress that enough.
Both will be done no later than 9:00 p.m.
Listen. Holly, Born to Party this weekend is 2 p.m. to 8 p.m.
I know.
Promoters, I need more of y'all to embrace that time slot. Like, I need more of y'all to look at that window, because dudes will throw a day party, but it's starting at 6 p.m.
That's not a day party. That's a night party. That's an early evening party.
Yeah. Because I'm still leaving there at the same time I'd be leaving at night, because when you started at 6, you go until 1, 2 in the morning.
Yes.
So no.
Yeah.
That brunch time, 2 p.m. to 8, 9 o'clock. So like you might advertise 8, but you go into 10 is cool.
Right.
I'm all right with going till 10, but like I need more people. And I'm not saying don't still keep late night stuff. Obviously, you got the youngins who want the late night stuff. But for me,
I got to wake up the next day.
Even if I don't, right? I know, like, because even if it's a weekend and it's a Sunday and I don't necessarily have to wake up and do anything and be productive, I don't want to be stumbling into my home at 4 a.m. That's just the reality. I would rather
be brushing all then.
Not even that, son. I would rather just get home at a decent hour
and go and sleep.
Go and sleep. Just bed and sleep and wake up feeling like a human in the morning, rather than
whatever floats your boat, buddy.
No, rather than walking in at 4 and then like waking up at noon feeling I'm in a time warp. Like I don't know where I am.
Like why does my head
hurt? Head spinning. Don't know what day it is. Don't know if I want to eat breakfast, lunch, or like this. No. Day party. So that 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. window, promoters, please organize that a little bit better.
As we do it.
But all right, so Florida.
Yeah.
Doing what Florida does as Florida likes to do. So I'm going to let you, you got to take the lead on this first one.
So Ron DeSantis, there are 2 bills that he signed over the last 2 weeks that just have me, one deep in my heart, I'm like, I rock with it. But then on the other hand, I'm like, I think it's a little bit of overreach. The other one, I'm like, you're a dickhead. So the first one, where he's a straight up dickhead, is there's a new law where unhoused people, because that's the new correct term for.
Oh, is that? You know what? I did hear that.
Yes,
I have heard something.
Unhoused. And to be real with you, to put a pause on that for a second, I get why they call it unhoused, because
expound.
Because so when we hear homeless, at least when I hear homeless, I think somebody living on the street, right? But the reality is, you can be homeless and staying on somebody's couch, because you don't own your own home, right? Unhoused, I think, is clearly more diplomatic, but it's also like a little bit more accurate when you got people who literally are living on the street. So it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, I get the rationale. I see your face. But either way, like
my old man this week.
Yeah.
When I hear the new terms, and I don't want to make this about the new term so much, but like
it's stupid. It's unnecessary.
What was even the point of the change?
It's unnecessary.
Right. Like
it's the same way how like people used to be able to say disabled, and you can't say disabled anymore.
Wait, you can't say this. I'm sorry.
No, it's like
I feel like the caveman now, because I definitely still say disabled.
I mean, well, we still say disabled. I still say disabled.
Right.
But like,
is it differently abled now?
I can't remember. Like,
I don't think it's that. I think that's condescending.
Stupid shit like that, bro. Like, it's dumb shit like that. And I don't know.
All right.
But either way.
So homeless people.
The fact that there's now a law, right, where, and I look at it this way. There's a law that states that homeless people can't sleep on streets, sidewalks, or parks overnight. My guess is that cops are probably already trying to get people out of those spaces anyway overnight. But when you create it as a law, that means now I can arrest you.
Well, what do we
potentially?
Do we know what the penalty is for?
I didn't even take the time to look into it because Florida is its own place.
It is,
and I only go there if I'm going to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or West Palm, maybe Orlando. But like that's really it, right? So I just think it's really insensitive.
And doctor visits.
Which is Miami, motherfucker.
I'm saying for doctor visits. I'm just saying.
That's right.
You're a good physician.
Miami has some of the best physicians in the state.
So
he's like real cool.
So all right, but
it's really on brand with Republicans though, right? Like this is the same brand of people who are like we're pro-life, and it's like okay, cool. We gonna really be anti-abortion. We're not gonna do any kind of abortions, but people who are living, we're not gonna take care of.
Well, that's the best part of the argument about being pro-life, because it's like you're actually not pro-life,
right?
You're just anti-abortion,
yeah,
right? Because it's not even like you're defining a life as starting at a certain point so that you can say that you're pro-life. But the reality is, once that person is born, you don't want to give them any kind of protections. You're against any kind of public assistance. You're against half of the stuff they're teaching in schools. You're pro-gun. You're pro-death penalty. You're pro-everything else that is actually anti-life. So it's like to say pro-life is it's a contradiction in terms. It's not so. You're just anti-abortion, which is fine to be anti-abortion.
They're good at marketing though. That's the one thing I will give. That's the one thing I'll give to them.
Okay.
Because it's the same thing, right? It's like. The Dems years ago came out with global warming.
Right.
Right?
Wait. They didn't come out with global warming, but okay.
That was the agenda, right?
Yeah.
There was the agenda item.
Because you said it like they invented it. You said they came out.
Sorry. But then the Republicans came like, no, we're not going with that term. We're going to go with climate change. Because in some places it's getting colder. Mm-hmm. And it's not getting warmer.
But here's the thing. Even climate change was like, okay, cool. I'll rock with climate change. Because and the reality is, cool, we'll call it climate change.
Right. Oh, yeah, I mean.
Now they're at the point where they don't even believe climate change is happening.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the worst part. Like, they don't even believe in climate change. Yeah. They think, some places it's colder, some places hotter. The climate isn't changing. It was cold yesterday. What do you mean the climate's changing? So it's like.
Well, I think what was, not to go too deep in history, but part of it is, sometimes there are other variables to it than what you guys are saying.
Bro, right. That's what I was like.
Like that's the direction they want to go in. They're like, yeah, well, if you go thousands of years back, like there were other things that were happening. So it's like, okay.
So all right.
So yeah, so they on brand with that shit. I think it's trash, but it's Florida, so what happens there? But the second law was around social media age restrictions, and I think it is 14 now, that if any kids have a social media account and they're 14 or younger, it's banned. So I don't know how that's going to really play out. I get it because as a parent with kids, I'm not a fan of them being on social media. There's a lot of shit on social media that I'm not really a fan of, but there are parents who don't look at it that way. So I feel like that should be something that parents make a decision on, not so much the government coming in and saying, I'm sounding really fucking Republican here, but
right.
But like I don't think that it should be the government coming in and saying, no, we're gonna ban this. And there's just so many ways around this shit. Like at the end of the day, they can still create a fucking account. Like, how are you really gonna stop me from creating an account? It's not like I have to upload an ID to show that I'm a certain age.
Well, I mean, we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know what provisions they're going to put in place for enforcement.
It's the same shit with like, I hate to put it this way, but it's the same shit with like porn sites.
I was going to say porn.
or like tobacco, where they have that like that startup screen.
But tobacco is different because like you can't buy tobacco in a store without an ID.
No, I know, but what I mean is like looking on like let's say a Camel website. before you can get on, they'll ask.
Right, but that's just that's just viewing. At the end of the day,
but I mean, that's what social media is, though. It's just viewing.
Mm-hmm. You know I'm not disagreeing.
So like, I think it's stupid, but I'm sure there's rationale behind it that we won't really see until shit starts popping off.
Right.
But
all right. So I got thoughts on both of these.
Okay, let's go.
As far as the
homeless, the unhoused
homeless people. Like I understand the idea behind it. I think it's a little bit of a where do you stand? Are you being a human being or are you being a politician? Like these people obviously need somewhere to go. So are you providing them like in the course
we all know they're not providing.
So that's what I'm saying, right? It's like in the course of saying you cannot be in these places.
What's the alternative?
And right now where the economy is trash, the housing market is trash, you can have a job and not be able to afford a place to live.
100%.
So like you're saying these things are not options for you.
Yep.
And I don't know that they're doing it or not, but I'm like, if you're going to say, hey, you cannot sleep here.
Yeah.
Cool. Where can I sleep?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing to address this problem? And I know that shelters are not necessarily the best, safest, most hygienic place for some people. Yeah. But it's like, at least if you're telling me that we are providing you with options and you're not taking them,
that's on you.
You're choosing to sleep on the street, then yeah. So I got to look deeper into that to see what they're actually doing to address the problem of people not having a place to sleep before saying, hey, I'm for or against a law that is criminalizing sleeping on the street. The other thing is, what are you enforcing it with? Are we talking about jail time? Because let me tell you, the reality becomes if, let's say I'm homeless.
Okay.
I don't really have anything.
Sure.
And I know that I'm not really a threat or whatever to anybody. And you telling me, well, I can sleep on the street or I can get arrested and spend the night in jail.
That's a horrible fucking option.
It is for some people. I'm telling you, I'm telling you this for some people. Right. There's some people who are like, nah.
I'll take it. It's a bed. It's meal. Trust me, I get it.
And because you know that the charge is not something serious, like they're going to slap me with a fine that I'm not going to pay because I have no money.
Right.
I'm going to get out. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe though. Because we don't know if they're really going to get out.
They are, because here's the thing. You can't, the time you spend in there has to also match with what you did, right? So now, let's say I'm a person with like multiple, and
I'm about to say, because you're going to be a chronic rule breaker.
But here's what I'm saying. And we're going into a lot of what ifs.
Sure.
So I don't want to dig too deep into the what ifs, but outside of the person and the people who are like just so habitually in and out of the system that it's like, okay, we have to actually give you legitimate time to learn a lesson.
Yep.
Most of the people are gonna be the little onesies and twosies. They ain't no space in Florida where they doing all the like dog. I've heard stories where it's like it's so busy, especially like did you see the commercial they did for spring break?
Of course. I was down there.
Right. They told people, don't come.
Don't come.
Right.
But people, they were still there.
I saw videos. So I know they were there. I know they were there. The videos didn't work. I'm waiting to see what they think about Miami Carnival weekend, because that's another animal. But all I'm saying
we're a little more civilized in the spring.
Yeah, but remember, it's also Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day weekend, whatever. Like, it's also...
I thought you don't play into the more diplomatic ways of saying things.
That's what I'm saying. It's either or. Well, and the difference with that is, I don't want to go off on that tangent, but I actually agree with renaming it from Columbus versus calling homeless unhoused.
I'm moving in trouble.
Right. So if we're looking at the crime rate and then the crime rate around holidays and things like that, and they're so busy, they don't got time to lock up homeless, unhoused people for long periods of time. So it's like, all right, this is the law, but like the question becomes, what is it going to be? Is it a fine? Is it a ticket? You're giving a person who has no home, no money, a ticket.
Right.
I'm laughing at it. I'm like, okay, cool.
And I found a shit. So we're not supposed to say disabled people or the disabled. We're supposed to say people with disabilities. Don't shoot the messenger.
Oh, I'm not shooting nothing, and I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm not shooting anything. And Okay, so let me ask you, what was the rationale behind the change? Since we're doing the deep dive, what was the rationale?
That was just a chart that added to.
Because I see the chart with the check and the X.
But I can tell you though that just as someone in communications, I can see the difference. So
I can see the difference.
The appropriate one has to do with humanizing them,
the person,
as opposed to like labeling them as their situation.
So let me ask.
I shouldn't say that either.
Bleep. Yeah, I ain't beeping that one.
I wouldn't bother back.
Yeah, right. I am that one. Hey, white boy, do me a favor. Write the time down on that. 31 minutes. Just, you're going to get the time.
Oh, God. Anyway.
All right. But so the thing is, and again, if I'm blind, you
can't see people calling you this.
If I lost a leg, to whatever the cause was, I lost an arm to it.
Sure.
I don't actually care.
Well, so that's a really good point, right? I wonder how many people actually care. The people who are being labeled here, actually care the difference between being called a person with a disability versus a disabled person.
Right, because and again, even without being in communications, I can tell the difference. But when I say what's the difference, it's like, in reality, in the actual application of your life, you know what I'm saying?
It's not changing shit.
Right. It's like if a white person called me a nigga or a nigger, both are wrong because you're white. You know what I'm saying? I
was like, where is he going?
Right. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, did you say A or E? You can't say either.
You can't say either.
So it's like, I don't really care at that point. How you phrase it. So, all right.
Florida's trash. That's really what it comes down to.
Now the other one.
Oh, the other one.
I
already know you like
the social media. It's not so much that I like it, it's that I don't
support it.
It's that I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think this one is as big.
I don't think it's a big deal.
Because it's because with this one, it's more of kids can't have the account until they're 12 anyway.
Sure.
Like on social media. So if you try to create it, it has the limit. All Florida is saying is we think 12 is too young. We're saying 14 is the more appropriate age.
Sure.
So really that's all they're doing. And throughout anything within the legal system, the states have the right to enforce stronger penalties. Like the states have the right to enforce stronger regulations than the government does. They just can't go any looser. So like if the government says this, the states can say, well, we like this and we're going to actually
make it more difficult.
Make it more because we can't go lower than you, but we can definitely go higher.
Sure.
So all they're doing is saying, you're saying 14, we're going to say 12.
Yep.
I don't think this one was that bad because, quite frankly, I understand the difference in what you're saying when a person, the mental development from one person to the next, the kind of imagery and the things that they're showing on social media, all this other stuff.
Yep.
So if Florida is saying that, hey, we would like to limit what kids can see on there, cool. Here's the reality. Like you said, if a parent feels like, because the same way you're saying it is the parent's choice, if a parent wants to give their kid access, they will create the account with their name, give the kid the password, and it's done.
Yep.
So I don't think this was that big. I think this was more symbolic, like saying, hey, we're doing something, when in reality what you're doing is not even putting a Band-Aid on a situation because it's not actually effective.
Right.
You're only limiting 2 years, and within that 2 years, parents were already, if my kid is starting a business, let's say, or I'm creating a business, putting in my kid's name, right? Or my kid is doing something where I want to give them exposure. I'm going to create a parent-monitored kid account where I'm the actual person in control of the account.
Right.
I'll post their pictures, whatever. And if I want them to see stuff on it, I'll give it to them like, hey, here's the page. You know, so it's like, but I understand what they're saying. You don't want kids on the internet unchecked regardless.
Period.
To hell with social media.
Right.
Like, I don't want kids with unfiltered access to the internet no matter what, because this shit is wild. And what's crazy, it's way wilder than it used to be. There was a point where, like, to see some of the stuff you could see now, you had to go on like exclusive sites.
Yeah,
like
the kind of it's all free and open.
Dog. Yeah. Like the stuff you can just Google and watch, no restriction, no advisory, nothing. Just click. Like I'm like, yeah. So I'm all for, hey, fewer kids on here, or harder access for kids to get on here. So
me too.
All right. So we still in the red party. We still in the GOP.
In Florida a little bit, Mar-a-Lago.
Nah, we not in Mar-a-Lago, though.
We not in Mar-a-Lago yet?
Nah, remember we were skipping it. We have decided that this week...
we're not going to talk about Trump today. Okay, gotcha.
Because we know he's going to give us...
He's going to give us some fodder later on.
For the rest of the year. And honestly, he's going to give us ammo, win or lose.
Sure. Can I just say one thing, though?
Yeah, what's up?
It's like real quick.
Nah, you got it.
So I think it's crazy how... the New York civil fraud case that he has, and the bond was $454 million, and it got reduced to $175 million. Like, dog, can you imagine? Like, that is your bond.
But here's the thing. He don't got it.
Apparently, and I know we're not going to go into this, but apparently, I saw something in the paper today. In the paper, but it was actually online. The online version of the paper, saying that he was like, I got 500 million liquid, but I don't want to use that to pay. we know he's lying.
Right.
He's lying, but still.
That's what I'm like. And this is me, broke me, talking about a rich nigga and what money he don't have. So I understand the irony. I'm not even trying to say I
want to be able to be bonded at 105. Like to be bonded at 175, that means your net worth has to be high, and you also it also has to be that like you are a threat to like rolling the fuck out. But like 175 though, and that was lowered. It was $500 million.
450 was always ridiculous. If we're gonna be real,
yeah.
If we're really gonna be honest, like honestly, 175 is obnoxious. Like
you're trying to make a point.
It's like, bruh, seriously, it's like when judges give people like 360 years because you're actually tallying every charge and doing the.
It's like,
and once you get,
I'm 15.
Right.
I can't live
once
longer than
you
another 85
get
years.
past 40 years in prison, it's okay. If someone does something to me today and they spend 40 years of their life in prison, I'm okay if they get out. That's me. I almost don't care what the charge is because I feel like that is a section of your life that you spent behind bars. I don't care at that point.
I'm going to push it to 60.
40 is enough for me.
Only reason I say 60 is because sometimes people are getting we're living longer. So you get 40 at, like, let's say you get 40 at the age of 18.
Right.
I'm not saying that, like, I want people to rot in prison.
Right.
But there's still a lot of life to live.
But you get out at 58.
Depending on what you did, though.
That's what I'm saying. We're still 40 years, right? You get out at 58.
Yep.
You're still a quote-unquote young person, but you have missed a lot. I think, to me, and this is just where my standard of it is, you have missed enough significant portion of your life. I'm okay with you because imagine for a second you're a 58-year-old man.
Sure.
And this is your first taste of just being outside. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm okay with 40. I'm okay with 40 years. Let him out. I don't care with it. To me, I don't care with it.
Yeah, for motion, I'm down with that. Yeah. But if I don't have a daughter, but somebody does some real grueling, crazy shit to my child. Yeah,
they're not. But here's the thing: they're not making it to jail. I'm not even worried about that. I'm not even worried about. I'm gonna be the one looking for the 40 years at that point. So right. So
at that point, you know what?
I'm gonna be the one.
Let's make it 30 years.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's gonna be we're talking a different scenario there. They're not even dealing with jail time at that point. So I'm not even tripping over that time. So I'm joking. We don't condone violence of any kind on this podcast. We're just saying. So
hypothetically, we do though.
So sticking with the GOP and with social media and with podcasting and radio, television personalities. Here's what's funny. So I talked about this on my podcast, the Apply and Logic podcast, also available online. And I
shameless plug.
It's not even shameless, dog. I'm posting this from the Guys Unpack page. It ain't even shameless, nigga. It's just happening.
I love it.
It's happening.
Cross marketing. That's what it's called.
Yo, I talked about this, and I refused to mention her name. And I went back and replayed it, and I managed to avoid saying her name.
I'm going to say it then.
I mean, this is a different thing because I understand we are talking about Candace Owens. For anybody who knows me, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Nobody's a fan.
No, that's not true.
Except for white people.
No, so here's the thing. She has been on a tour of black media.
I saw her on Breakfast Club. Well, parts of her on Breakfast Club, because I wasn't about to give them a view for that shit.
Right. She did Joe Budden's podcast, but she did the Patreon of it first.
Okay.
And then did Breakfast Club.
Did you listen to Joe Budden?
I don't listen to anything she's on. I
figured, but I wasn't sure. Okay.
Nope. If she's in a place, I won't watch it. I don't even watch the clips from the Breakfast Club because the thing for me is I've seen enough interviews of hers. I've seen enough of her content to kind of know what she's gonna say.
Yeah.
And it's been consistent. So it's like at this point, I don't need to anymore.
Sure.
So it's not me saying, hey, I'm not being ignorant. It's like your message hasn't changed.
Sure.
So
you're on brand.
So I know what you're about to say. I don't need to hear it.
Yeah.
And I don't need to give my view to this platform because now it's like what happened with Shannon Sharpe and Cat Williams.
Sure.
Like, that did 50 million. Now, you got every other comedian is now running to Shannon Sharpe to tell their side of it.
It was pretty genius.
And you have the comics who won't go to Shannon Sharpe, going to the Jason Lees, going to Vlad, going to whoever, to now say, yo, F Shannon Sharpe and this and blah, blah, blah. And then, so it's like, and like you heard what he said. Like, I don't know if you heard what he said. He was like, yo, I already got my check from that. So whatever y'all think I made, triple it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I got paid from that podcast regardless. So talk all you want about because it's actually only making it better because now only more and more people are going to watch it.
Yeah.
And more people are going to come. Like I'm being more marketable the more y'all talk about me. So that's why I don't like, I know my one little view ain't a big deal, but I'm just like, nah, I'm not going to be a part of it because I don't actually care. But she's out at the Daily Wire. She has been terminated, or the contract has ended, and there was a lot of speculation around it because she's made some comments and statements that were deemed controversial. And in a statement she said that, I'm finally free. That's how she viewed it.
She was a slave or
Well, she's free now.
She's free now. Okay.
She is free now. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm not a fan of hers at all in any capacity. I actually think that she's one of the more dangerous. This would be Auntie Tamina. I don't know. It's not Uncle Tom. What is it? I don't know.
Well, I don't know what the term is. I don't know
either way, like she's dangerous because she is safe to white people, right?
Okay. Hey, white.
She's safe to white people, but she's also just demeaning to us, but like not in a fuck black people kind of way. It's like it's to try to be articulate and all that kind of that fuck shit. So I just don't like anything that she's about. Even if she says something that actually makes sense, it's just hard for me to rock with her in any capacity. She's just dangerous to me. You know what I mean? Like when you play into that stupid rhetoric of like I know one of her most memorable tweets was when she and Kanye had on like the White Lives Matter shirts or whatever. Like when you're doing shit like that, you're totally undermining everything that people are trying to point out about the difficulty of being black in this country, right? So I guess I don't want anybody to be fired personally, but it says a lot to me when a platform that don't really rock with us decides to be like, yeah, that's just a little bit too much for us, right? It's like, how the fuck?
Yeah. So,
like, one last.
Nah, you got it.
This is the last comment. It's like, you bought into their entitlement so fucking much. Because that's some shit that white people do.
Mm-hmm.
White people be so entitled that they do and say whatever they want to because they believe that they're bigger than whatever platform they're on. You felt like you were so, like they pulled you in so close to make you feel like you are so a part of them that you went ahead and did some shit that got you fired. Like,
I don't think that's what happened.
Okay. What happened?
So, no, I mean, I don't disagree with anything you said, right?
Okay.
I'm not a fan, and this isn't a bash Candace Owens segment.
Of course
because
not.
At the end of the day...
She's still a black woman.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, she's intelligent and articulate. That's the reason I think she's dangerous. She's intelligent, articulate, and she knows how to spin truth within everything that she's saying. Sure. So with every time that she has a topic of conversation, I say she's always on brand. It's never a full blown falsehood. It's never a lie.
Sure.
Like I can even use the George Floyd comments, and I'm not here to rehash old debates, right? But even the things that she said about George Floyd, where she was like trying to make it about how black people will always appoint a criminal to be their champion. I'm paraphrasing, but she was saying things along those lines. I remember all of the posts and stuff she made then, and was overly criminalizing George Floyd in the moment of what happened because of like his past and everything. And like the point of that was, we're not saying nobody is making him into a hero.
Right.
Nobody is absolving him of anything that he's done or anything. We're saying you still can't just put your knee on his neck.
Right.
So like
she's laughing, but
right. So she's smart, but she's deceptive in the way that she frames things. Because and every time I do listen to her, which I don't anymore, but every time I did, it was like, I understand what you're saying, but I can see through what you're doing because you are completely avoiding and negating the actual thing we're complaining about.
Right.
Because if you can make black people feel like we're dumb for feeling a certain way, then you've won, because you're now trying to shift their minds. So if you make me feel like because I want a certain level of equality or because I want a certain thing for me, you're like, oh, that's a victim mentality and blah, blah, blah. And she always had this thing of like, I'm not a victim, like this kind of the pull yourself up by your bootstraps kind of mentality, where like when we say or speak about things that are unfair, you're going to point out, oh, well, look, this person made it, that person made it. So that was my problem with her, because she was very good at twisting the truth.
Sure.
And because, again, she's intelligent and articulate. And she's knowledgeable.
Sure.
And because of that knowledge, she knows what to leave out.
Of course.
She knows what to exclude. She knows the things not to say. And she's going to harp on the stuff that's like...
all the talking points that white people need to like try to justify their shit.
That white people need and that she knows black people will gravitate to.
Sure.
So because it's not just white people. She has a lot of black fans.
Conservative black fans.
Right. Okay. So that said, she learned a valuable lesson that you can't say anti-Semitic, no matter who you are.
Well, you know what's crazy though? You know what's really crazy though?
That no matter who you are.
Well, no, you know what's even crazier than that though? That what she actually posted was not anti-Semitic. Like, well, I wouldn't define it as
from what I heard, there's been...
unless there was more to it than what she posted.
From what I heard, there's been issues with her in the Daily Wire, like, leading up. Like, basically, put it like this. When she went on her Black Media tour, and I'm calling 2 shows a tour because she went on the 2 biggest outlets in urban Black media. It's Joe Budden and The Breakfast Club. Like, no matter how you try to slice it or throw any of the other people in there, it's Budden and The Breakfast Club. Right. So she went to those 2 knowing that this was coming down the pipeline. Yeah. So it wasn't like... So she was hedging her bets. She was being smart, and she played it in a way that I'm going to make sure that I am now starting to get my message out to some people who probably don't listen to me. Because the average Joe Budden listener is probably not tuning into Candace Owens. Right. Same for The Breakfast Club, right?
Right. So the only thing, though, that I'll give to her is that...
Biggie?
Nah.
Yeah, not me either.
They ain't enough Viagra or Cialis in the world for me to want to do that. But the only thing I'll give to her is we're in an age where she doesn't really need.
No, that's where I was going. Like her being fired is pointless, irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because in a day like today, where you can create, produce, and put out your own content. And she already has a huge following. Mm-hmm. So even when she says, I'm free, she's probably correct because now
she can say whatever she wants to say now.
I can say whatever I want. I don't have to worry about whoever is above me to temper my statements or to edit my thought. I can say what I want to say.
I'm not going to be censored at all.
Yeah, so absolutely. I don't even feel like it was like tongue-in-cheek saying that she's free. I think she really feels like that. Yeah. Because now she's no longer... She went on her little Black media tour knowing this was coming down the pipeline.
I'm expecting a book to come out of this.
Probably. The problem is I feel like the print medium is dying.
No, but like between audio and...
Right, but I feel like even... I mean, maybe it's just because I don't typically... When these people write books, I don't typically rush to them. Right,
we're not going to rush to them. So, and there are a number of people that will, though.
And you're right. So let me not pretend
and
like it's a
diamond. They be having like 30 million New York Times bestsellers.
Right. So like, every book's a New York Times. Every book's a New York Times. New York Times just makes everybody famous who writes a book a bestseller. Everybody. I don't know what the number is. Like, did you sell 3 books? Bestseller. You got you. Like
easy.
So if she does that, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna buy it and read it, and then we are going to hear about it that way. Although, as I'm thinking about it, I don't think Jada's book did that well. I don't think Jada's book did that well, though. I don't know. We're going to have to look at the numbers. Because as I'm thinking about it now,
I don't think it did well either, but...
Because I remember there was a book...
It might have still been a New York Times
Maybe. No, you might be... by those standards, you might be right. Because I do remember one celebrity putting a book... And I remember it was Jada. Somebody put a book out, and it was like... Nah, folks didn't care. But we didn't care what Jada had to say at that point. We were over it. I was over it.
We all felt for Will.
I needed to get out of that group chat immediately. Yeah. I'm mad we wasn't recording when Jada was on her tour because, dog, I'm not gonna go rehash old stuff, but dog, she was giving niggas content left and right. So. But yeah, she gonna be all right. Candace Owens gonna be fine, and wherever she lands or whatever she decides to do, whether it's personal, puts it out herself, whatever. I'm sure. One thing I know,
it debuted number 3 on the New York Times.
Yeah, I believe it though. I don't doubt it. I didn't doubt it. I did not doubt it.
But I don't think it did well though.
Nah, anyway. It didn't do well. So, but Candace is gonna be fine, and. As long as she is out there, Trump's dick is definitely always going to be warm and moist. So we are moving on. We'll take a slight pause so that this can be given the level of seriousness that it deserves.
Just stop smiling.
Yeah. Today in D.C., or in Baltimore, actually, the Francis Key Bridge collapsed. Prayers and thoughts to all the families, anyone who lost anyone in relation to that tragic incident that happened. A cargo ship, I'm sorry. A cargo ship lost power and crashed into one of the bridge's foundations and caused the bridge to collapse. The video has been circulating all over social media, and it's crazy to look at how quickly that bridge came down. But, I mean, a whole huge cargo ship hit it, dog.
Right.
It was...
So it's I don't want to use the word funny, but, like, it's crazy how everyone, and I'm hyperbole here because it's clearly not everyone, but everyone feels like they're a structural engineer or an architect or whatever, and all the conspiracy theories that are now coming out, like, oh, that bridge should have never come down so quickly, and this might be a terrorist attack, and da-da-da-da. And as somebody who went through engineering school, was like, I wasn't civil, so I'm not about to sit here and act like I know everything there. But I'm like, okay, I've seen the size of a cargo ship, and I've seen the size of a bridge. And I didn't expect the bridge to come down as quickly as it did.
Right. It dropped quickly.
But I also can understand, though, the physics that comes into putting up a bridge that's not supposed to get hit by a cargo ship.
That is the key takeaway.
It's not built to get hit by anything other than wind.
Right. Because the ships are not built to crash into bridges.
Right. So I'm actually surprised that the damn ship, I didn't think it would sink, but I'm surprised that it didn't visibly show any water being taken on.
Right.
No,
I just want us to have a little bit of sensitivity when we talk about stuff like this. Like, okay, sure. Not everything is a conspiracy. Not everything is a nefarious act. Like, sure.
Some shit just fucking sucks.
And yes, we know that infrastructure in this country has been an issue as of late.
Yep.
And we can get into the nitty-gritty of where's the tax money going and blah blah blah, and are we repairing
stimulus dollars, motherfuckers?
We can get now. You know that the stimulus money was not. So anyway,
it's actually the Department of Defense of anybody. Right. But go ahead.
Right. So it's like we all know that we can talk about like the country's infrastructure and all this other stuff ad nauseum, and this isn't the time to do that. Sure. Because there were people who were impacted by this in a real way. And as of the time of this recording, like there's still search and rescue crews out there. So like
I got a call first thing this morning from Trinidad. And I was like, okay, so Baltimore is like 45 minutes away from me.
No, but
I appreciate you reaching out to find out if I'm okay because I get that I live close to this horrific issue.
My brother in New York called and texted to make sure that me and, my kid and kid's mom and like, we're okay. And I was like, yeah, I texted them and spoke to them. Obviously, like, I'm not with her, so I just texted to be like, hey, y'all good over there? And once I know that they're fine, it's like, all right. But yeah, people, when they see Baltimore and they know, well, you live in Maryland.
It's right
especially
there.
When you don't actually live in this area. So you don't know how far someone was. Like, I don't have to cross the Key Bridge at all.
Yeah, but still, though, to their point, though, it's still close enough that, I mean, I've been on the Key Bridge multiple times. Mm-hmm. So that shit could have happened.
No, it could happen.
When we were on the bridge.
When I was talking, I was looking at some of the people posting, like, one dude was like, I just ran over that bridge a couple of days ago, or whatever. Yeah. Like, so it's like, you're always like, I always feel for people when things like this happen, because when you see like stuff like 9/11 and the people who were late for a train, missed work, called out sick, whatever.
Yep.
Whatever it was supposed to be in or around the towers that day and weren't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you think about how close you were to tragedy.
Yeah.
And the people who didn't get that lucky, that they were there, you kind of appreciate life a little bit more. So I want us to have just a little bit more respect for the situation. Like, it doesn't matter if people don't know where the Key Bridge is. Like, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, yes, the bridge did come down quickly because a cargo ship hit it. So I don't think we need to look into and I'm not saying that just believe everything you see. That's not what I'm saying either. But sometimes 1 and 1 does make equal 2. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a huge thing hit a stationary object that was dangling over water. Like, it is just the sad and unfortunate reality.
You just brought the mood completely down there, bro.
Nah, we about to
bring it back up.
I mean,
sorry,
that is the wrong. That is the wrong. That is the wrong way to start this topic. But all right, but let's just get into it. So, also happening today in news from last night into today.
Take that.
The Department of Homeland Security has raided the homes of Sean Diddy Combs.
The Miami and LA homes.
Homeland Security has been working with their New York and Miami departments, and search warrants were served, and boxes were taken out. There's pictures and videos all over on social media of like the kids in handcuffs. The TMZ showed like the aftermath of the house getting ransacked and stuff.
Yep.
For the record, Diddy, as of the time of this broadcast, has not been arrested.
He's not just and not has been arrested. He hasn't been charged.
There's been no charges levied against him, and in fact, there were some reports that he was not even the actual quote unquote target. In the investigation. So everything is still developing. We are at this point, we are going to talk about it because we got a podcast to record. And this just happened.
And why not?
Right. So we're going to talk about it. But to be fair to Diddy, he has still not been arrested, not been charged, but his homes were raided. And shortly after that, No Diddy was trending. Let's go. What we got?
So for starters, and I think this really is an extension of the whole No Diddy is trending. Dog, the internet never loses.
Not only do they not lose, they don't wait.
Dog, like the amount of like truly hilarious posts.
Oh yeah,
that came out immediately. Right?
No. They listen. One thing I will say, social media comedians are winning. They are ready and waiting. Yeah.
But between like having no sensitivity around his kids getting like I don't want to say they got arrested, but they definitely
they were detained. They were in handcuffs, yeah.
And making light of that to like shit about how his private jet was in. I think
it was in the Caribbean.
Like
yeah,
that.
It was somewhere in the Caribbean.
Right, but he wasn't on it. But nobody wants to wait for that. They're like, oh, did he rolled out?
And that's part of the problem right now. Where I'm like, so I was even talking to a friend today and telling her, hey, gonna record tonight. What topic should we get into? And she immediately said Diddy, right? And I was like, yeah, cool, I get it. Here's the only problem with immediately. And not reporting on, because we're obviously not journalists. Like, we niggas talking shit. But it's like, the problem with immediately talking about something is I try to be a little bit more responsible because at the end of the day, we all know that nobody waits for the truth in any of these situations.
Sure.
And the minute you can say something, it was like when, rest in peace, when Kobe passed.
Sure.
And they were posting about, like, Vanessa didn't even find out. She's finding out about it on social media, right?
Right.
So, so much information came out last night to the point where I was even thinking he was actually arrested at one point. And then I realized, hang on, because I sent it to y'all.
Yep.
But I was like, wait, let me go check this because I just realized I didn't even verify this source of information. And I'm not posting it publicly. I'm sending it in a text message chat to a couple of people. But I'm like, oh, nah, disregard because I don't know. Because this ain't even a credible source of information. The way they worded it made it seem real, but this is not being reported anywhere. So much information comes out. So yeah, right. The plane was somewhere. I'm listening to The Breakfast Club, and they were talking about something that I didn't even take into consideration, but it makes sense. Like, when you're not using your private jet,
it makes sense to let people use it.
You charter it out.
Of course.
And so now it could be
it's
anywhere.
It's a business at that point.
So now with TMZ tracking the jet, people thinking Diddy on the run the whole time he's in Florida somewhere.
He's in Miami pacing.
So, right. So,
I will say the craziest thing though, the craziest coincidence is, Biggie's Life After Death album came out on March 25th.
Oh, shit.
In 97.
I didn't realize that.
Only reason I know that shit, not because I'm a fucking like hip hop head like that, but it was one of the things that came up online. I'm like, how do people find this shit? So I had to go check, and I was like, oh shit, it really did drop 97, March 25th.
Nah, to find that information is a level of knowledge that I don't even want to have. Like, how do you even come to think about? Now, I will say, I do know that Fab and Jay-Z dropped on 9/11. I remember that.
Okay.
But that's because it was 9/11. So it's like, that is a significant date. But yeah, to remember that March 25th, nah, that's
right.
Nice.
I had to Google it. And I was like, oh shit, it really did come out that day.
But yeah, so, after that Cassie lawsuit.
So I know she happy she got her shit taken care of before all this bullshit.
Dog, like Diddy has been going through it. Or it went through him or whatever. However you want to.
Swallow.
However you want to. It is nuts. Like, every time I look around, there's a different, it feels like there's a different story, a different allegation, a different case, a different whatever. Something revolving around him from the cat. Like, Cassie opened the floodgates, and it's become just a continuous, and he sold.
I heard Revolt.
He sold Revolt because I know he had stepped down
right
after the Cassie thing,
sure,
and after the other two.
But he still owned most of the shares.
Now he sold all the shares of Revolt,
and we don't know to who,
to an unknown, and for an unknown sum. And now it makes sense because, all right, I need to distance myself from these companies because if anything happens,
sure,
I don't one. I'm selling them, so I'm making some money,
sure,
right,
sure.
But knowing that this may go left, I need to have fewer things to my name.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. You know what I'm saying? This is me guessing the reason for doing that. And probably Revolt was like, look, we want to continue, even if at the end of the day, nothing comes of this from him. Revolt is like, we want to be able to continue.
Yeah, so I remember I was listening to a lawyer discussing why he stepped down from running Revolt originally, and that had to do with after that lawsuit, there was all companies have a certain level of insurance, and the insurance goes up once you have to actually pay out a lawsuit.
Right.
So it was one of those things where they would not have been able to get reinsured
if he was still
there. So that was the reason why. At least that's the reason why the lawyer said
he would have stepped down.
That he would step down.
Okay.
I don't know if any of that plays into why he might also sell shares.
I mean, but I didn't just sell shares. Like if you sell all of your remaining shares, you're probably, and this is just two niggas speculating.
Right.
I'm probably looking at it like, if something happens and I gotta like actually take this charge, right? Or I gotta flee, right?
I gotta go to Switzerland
or Bali.
Is Bali like extradition free?
I don't know. I know that's where Russell Simmons been. I know that's where.
There was a meme about that too.
Yeah, because I heard he got served in Bali. Yeah. So anyway, if I gotta dip out, I'm gonna collect my cash
and take
get my money, get somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And let somebody else run it. Like, and let's be real, because we don't know who actually bought it.
It could easily be one of his kids.
Could have been Justin. You know, I don't think it would be, because I think like they would absolutely just connect that back to him. But remember, I feel like Trump did something similar. Like when he was told that he had to.
Yes, he sold some shit to like his son-in-law or something like that. It was like some.
Right, like he couldn't be owner. And again, I apologize for not looking this up before, but it doesn't matter that much. Right, it just hit me. But I remember when he like he couldn't be in charge of something while also being president. Right. So he sold or gave up his stake in it.
Yes.
It was like when Dan Schneider, when they were like, oh, you're under all these charges. Well, no, my wife is running.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, but
it's
no.
Still you.
Right. So this could just be, hey, I sold it to an undisclosed person.
Right.
Whoever. He sold it to Farnsworth Bentley, and he's now running the... You know what I'm saying? Like,
I forgot about him.
Right, he's running the company now.
With an umbrella.
Right. So that's why I want to know who bought it and for how much. Like, give us the information. Like, who bought the company and who owns Revolt now? So
they say that they're going to come out with that information soon. So we'll see who that is.
It was Tyler Perry or Oprah. It was one or two.
That would make sense.
Or Byron Allen. It was Byron Allen, Tyler Perry, or Oprah. Because they said it's still black owned.
I really just wanted to be 50 Cent.
It's not 50 Cent.
I just wanted it to be 50 Cent. It would be great if it was 50 Cent.
Diddy would not sell it to 50 Cent.
I know.
He wouldn't.
It'd be great though.
And because 50, I'm sure 50 would buy it. But here's the thing. It wouldn't have been undisclosed then. 50 would have talked about it.
50 would have been all over this
He would have posted about it mid-purchase. He would have been posting about it. So, yeah. That's how you know it's not him.
Yeah, you're right.
It would not be a secret for that long if 50 bought Revolt from Diddy. He would have posted the price. He would have undercut the price. He'd be like, I bought it for 3/4 waters and a hot dog. Like, he would be talking about it all. He'd be live right now.
You're right.
So, he ain't buy it. But, I mean, the whole story is crazy. From Cassie to right now, the spiral has been nuts. And the worst part, I guess this isn't the worst part. The funny thing about this is, in the midst of all this, he actually put out a dope album. That R&B album he put out, I liked it.
Well, of course you did.
Did you hear it?
Of course I have it.
I mean, you don't like good music, so it don't matter. So.
I like that Tyler album.
It don't even matter. I said what I said. I said what I said.
Oh, man.
I don't.
You don't like the Tyler album?
I do.
What I'm saying, I like the Tyler album.
Yeah, but I mean...
You can't tell me I don't like good music if I like the Tyler album, and so do you.
If you liked Water, you liked the Tyler album.
Exactly, because it was just endless water.
It was one song.
She might as well learn how to do that song with Masha.
No, here's the funny part, right?
Or Iowa.
So I started playing it. I was talking to a coworker today, and she asked about it. I was like, I like the album.
Sure.
Because it's a vibe. However...
No skips.
Yeah, no skips. because you don't need to, because you won't even know.
It's like one long song.
You won't know if you skipped or not. Because the first 6 songs after the intro are exactly the same. The same. Because I'm playing it for her, and I was like, all right, I'm about to go to the next song, and I skip to the next song, and it starts. So it's like if you cut halfway through one song to the next, you wouldn't even notice, because it wouldn't even feel longer than the first song, because it was just like one long song you played until you get to Butterfly, which is different.
Yes.
Because that's a slower song, but like everything else has the same bop, the same.
It's the Amapiano vibe.
It's a Mapiano vibe all the way through. So, Tyler, love you, big fan,
and she's sexy as hell too.
Big fan. Next album, get one additional writer and maybe 2 other producers. This is all I'm saying. I'm not even telling you change everything all at once. You don't got to go all the way to, but get two different producers.
But I will say this though, right? I'm gonna give her some props on pulling Gunna and Skilly Bang in for the song "Jump."
I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking anything that happened on this album. Be clear. I enjoyed it. I'm going to play. It's a summer bop.
It really is.
It will definitely get me through the summer. And because, again, it doesn't matter what song I play. They all sound the same. So I can just throw that shit on shuffle and be fine. I think
the formula actually makes a shit ton of sense, though. Because it all sounds the same, and like you said, it's a summer bop, it came out right before it gets warm.
It's like, perfect timing.
A lot of us are going to be playing a bunch of the songs on the...
No, like for DJs and for like you have a little cookout vibe, a little party, you can throw this album on at a cookout, right?
Holding.
Right? Take out Butterfly and there's another song. Take out like 2 songs, right? And just let it play. And as people are drinking, playing spades, eating, they won't even notice.
No.
That, because you'll hear the little change, but you won't even notice that it's just been this one album. So I'm not mad at this. However, artistically, I don't know that this is a formula for long-term success.
No,
that's all I'm saying. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is like, yo, you smoked this album. This album is fire. I'm playing it. I talked about it before. I'm gonna keep I'm enjoying it. I really am. No skips. But get 1 or 2 producers, get 1 or 2 different writers, and for the next project, let's like make a couple songs like this. Don't abandon
just not
your
the
sound.
Whole thing.
The whole album don't have to sound the same. Like I don't need to not be able to tell when we switch to a different song. But nah, I like it though. Just
like you like that Future and Metro Boomin.
No. We need a proper. We're not even gonna do the we're not gonna force the segue on this one.
Force the segue,
right? So we done with Diddy. We done with Tyler.
Sure.
Let's get to rap. Let's get to hip hop. Let's get to rap.
Yep.
Did you hear the Kendrick verse?
I've heard the whole album. Yes, I heard the Kendrick verse.
All right. What do you think of the album?
So the album is decent. It's cool. I mean, like it. Anytime that you have a producer who is co-hosting an album with a hot artist, it's gonna be a good.
And
album.
Future and Metro have that's right.
Like so they are a good duo, right? I honestly feel like the Kendrick verse didn't even really belong on the album, like particularly not on that song. Like I don't like that song that much. It's not a bad song, but it's not like something that makes me go, yo, this shit is fucking hot. It ain't first person shooter. Right? Like, I'm not going to play that song ever, unless it's a case where I'm literally trying to build a vibe off of the diss records kind of going back and forth, which happens sometimes. Like, if it's hot enough, this would have been better if this dropped in the summer when people were outside.
No, this is the time for a summer drop. This is a summer drop.
No, it's a time for a summer drop, but like the relevance of a diss record doesn't last for the entire summer. That's what I'm saying. Like, this would have been better if it dropped.
No, I disagree.
In like May.
I disagree.
You can disagree all you want.
That's why I disagree. No, because not just I disagree. I think you're wrong.
You always think I'm wrong. I don't care.
No. I don't always think you're. That's a lie. I don't always think you're wrong. Here's why I think you're wrong with this.
Okay.
The fickleness of the industry right now, right? Where artists are like dropping, and you will get a drop. Because remember, Future and Metro have another album coming out next week. Okay. They're doing 2 drops. Mm-hmm. The way the industry is now, where you got these artists with these surprise drops, these drops with no singles, these drops that is this, hey, I got an album out. And it's like, oh shit, so-and-so got... Yeah. You have a lot of microwave concept music where like we just put some shit together that it's going to hit the TikToks, it's going to hit the Instagram, we're going to get a couple of spins, but like we're not creating music that's going to last or stand the test of time. Nothing that's going to spend any bunch of time. But if you're an artist like Future, who I'm going to create songs that's going to play in clubs, going to play in parties, going to play in strip clubs, going to play in these places. Right now, because this song was on this March drop, right? Yep. That was really a response to First Person Shooter. Okay. And you know Cole got an album coming out. Mm-hmm. So you anticipate Cole's going to respond. Mm-hmm. Drake got nothing but time, so you anticipate Drake might respond. Right?
Drake is definitely going to respond.
So this dropping in March means that it's good, like to your point, it's going to get played in conjunction with those other drops. Sure. So by dropping it now, Cole drops, now people going to run back to, same way we ran back to First Person Shooter. Sure. They're going to run back to this, which dropped in March. It's on the album that's trending now. There's another album coming out. I don't know if another shot's coming on the other album. Another shot might come on the other. I don't know that it is or it isn't.
They need to, because this wasn't the shot. That's all I'm saying. This wasn't the shot.
You don't think so?
Here's the reason why, right? At least for me. Part of like the beauty of like rap battles is not just being, having the best pen game. I think part of it is also being witty, right? Mm-hmm. And other than the line where he said, "It ain't Big 3, it's Big Me," and that's not even the exact line, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Other than that piece of it, everything else to me was forgettable.
So, okay.
Right? So typically when you hear like rap battles or diss records that last, not even the test of time, but like that last at least for a season, so for a summer, whatever it is, there are multiple pieces where it's like, oh shit, he said that. Oh shit, he said that. Oh, this just wasn't it for me. Right. Especially coming from Kendrick. And I think part of it too is he's so fucking philosophical that a lot of his shit is going to go over people's heads anyway. Yeah. And that's part of the problem. Like, unless you're going after people who want to sit down and actually critique every line you're saying to understand like the depth of the diss.
But that's who he's going after, though.
Yeah, but that's not the majority of people who are actually going to rock the shit.
Right, but here's what I'm saying. He's going after the people who are doing what you just said. Because the way J. Cole dropped this, the way J. Cole talked about him on First Person Shooter was very subtle.
Because it wasn't a diss, though.
It wasn't a diss. No. So
nobody came out and said, "Oh, this shit is a diss record."
Right. That's what I'm saying. At the time, here's the thing. Shout out to, I'm gonna give credit. Shout out to the Joe Budden podcast. Okay. I did not even pay attention to this line. Right. Until I heard it this week. Okay. And we ain't gonna play it here, but there's a line in there near the end of the verse where Cole takes a direct shot at Kendrick. No.
I know. But
it's not subtle. It was a shot. Right. Like it wasn't like some bullshit. It was a shot.
Right. But that shot is not. I don't consider that a diss record though. Right. Like
it's not the whole song. But
taking a shot in a verse is not the same as like
it. But it's saying that I'm letting you know here. This how I feel. So I'm telling you, I'm putting your shit in my song. Your move. Okay. Right? And so Kendrick, hearing that, is like, okay, cool. I'm going to jump on this Future track.
Write my Pulitzer Prize winning.
I know. I know that Metro and Future are not fucking with Drake.
Which is stupid. Because you know what pisses me off about that? Yeah. Now we're not going to get any more Drake and Future fucking records, dog.
That's fine.
No, it's not. Fine. Their records are so
fine.
fucking hot, though,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because you don't like Future.
I don't, so I'm okay with that.
But dog, like they have anthems, dog.
I hear what you're saying. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm totally okay with that.
So does that mean I can't play those Future?
You can play. You can absolutely.
I mean, I'm definitely play them.
Nobody's right. You can play them, and then you play the diss songs. Like you play all that shit. Nobody's stopping. In fact, it's gonna go off harder now when you play it.
It's like when Drake and Future.
It's gonna go off. It's gonna go off harder now when you run back into that bag. So nobody even knocking that. I'm saying that. The Kendrick verse, I thought, was an appropriate shot, especially because there's another album coming. And Kendrick has the freedom now to, if he really wants to, go all for the Future. Like, I took the shot on Future album. It was like, although it was his album, it was like when Jay took the shot at Nas on Takeover. Mm-hmm. And at first, it was just a 3-verse song.
Right.
And all he said was, ask Nas, he don't want to with Hove, no. And then Nas said some shit, so Jay added a verse to the song, and then Nas came with Ether. So it's like right now, Kendrick put a couple lines in a verse on an album that's not even his, right? On a feature. And now, if y'all niggas respond, I got nothing but time to just make a whole, like, he probably got the beat ready.
I hope so.
And like waiting for a nigga to say something back. Because at the end of the day, if I say something, because here's what happens. If you're Drake and you're Kendrick, if you're Drake or you're Cole, you have to respond. Because of the hype behind this shot. Like, it's not a subliminal. It's not like, everybody's talking about it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like if niggas know I talk shit about you, and it's like, you got an album coming out. Niggas is looking at you like,
you gonna say something?
Like you can't put out, you can't drop 10, 11 songs on an album and not one of them talk about this nigga.
He can.
He cannot. He cannot.
If I'm either of them, Drake or Cole, I'm dropping my album without the diss record. I'll still drop the diss record as a single.
No.
I said me.
Yeah.
Me. Yeah. If I am.
I'm calling you pussy if you do that.
I don't give a fuck. I am what I eat,
I'm calling you. So. I'm just saying. No, you gotta put that on your album. That has to be a part of your album. Like what? Like, no, don't drop it separately. Make that a part of the project. Like when niggas play your album back 3 years later, put it like this. Put it like this, right?
I'm listening.
Right now, Jay and Nas are joking, right?
They cool now, yeah.
Takeover and Ether are on those albums. If you go back and play them albums,
I get it.
The song starts "Fuck Jay-Z."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Put that. Nah, you gotta put that on your album, bro.
So I wouldn't, and the reason why is because, and this is again just me.
Yeah, I hear you.
And granted, I'm a lover, I'm not a fighter. So take that into account, right?
That's song 1 on my album. That's the intro.
You're stupid.
That's the intro.
I look back at my catalog and I listen to an album of mine from 10 years ago. I'm cool with Kendrick now, and like.
Nas said, I play Ether, and I text Jay like, this shit ain't over. Dog, that's why you put it on the album.
I get it.
If you competitive, like, dog, nah. Because here's the thing,
I'm also just not that competitive in general, dog. So, like, I just let my aura win. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ain't no aura winning in rap battles, nigga. Either you won or you lost. And so that's why I'm like, yo, Imagine a world, right?
I'd be the most boring rapper.
Yeah, nah, you wouldn't.
Because I'm like, people will be taking shots and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, yeah. The MC Hazard is not for the, nah.
And I'm sending fucking Bible quotes and shit on IG. Like, yo, I spread love, not hate, nigga.
The worst part is, you're right. That's what would be happening. Like,
that's who I would be.
Yeah, this ain't for you, though.
It's not.
This ain't for you. This for the people who like a good rap beef. And at the end of the day, because I don't believe for 1 second that J. Cole, Drake, or Kendrick Lamar is gonna come to gunshots or violence.
Oh, right? Not at all. So, not one of them are actual hitters.
So right now, I'm just like,
it's just lyrical beef.
Yeah, we got 3 dudes who can rap and can make good. They can rap, but they can also make good songs.
Sure.
So I'm here to hear some lyrics getting thrown left and right.
Yeah.
So, by all means, y'all niggas have at it. Put it on the, I'm telling you, Meat is on the intro. Like, there might be two, like, I remember when Nas and Jay was beefing. Nas, that whole album, Stillmatic. Song Dissing Nature, took shots at Prodigy, took shots at Jay. In the song, he taking shots at Nature and Prodigy. He's like, even Jigga want the crown. How that sound? Poor thing. Like, you made a whole song dissing Jigga and then still dissed him on another track. Unrelated.
You know what we don't
That's
know?
what I like. I want niggas to like, yo, you know what? I'm about to go in the studio. I have these 6 or 7 songs that are just for the album. But these 3...
Yeah,
I'm devoting to these niggas.
You know what would be super dope though, and I know this is not. I'm not gonna say I know, but I don't think that this is what the case is. What if this shit was really curated like from before? Like even the first person shooter was all right, we're gonna do this because we gotta.
I don't think that would be dope.
No. What I'm saying is let's say this whole beef thing played out, and then after the whole thing, it was like they had like a big 3 tour or some shit like that. I think that shit would be dope. And not the beef part aside, to me, nobody gives a fuck about the beef.
Right.
But these really are the 3 biggest fucking hip hop artists right now.
Easily.
So to have all 3 of them
Poor Big
on
Sean.
a fucking what?
Poor Big Sean. Okay.
Nah, though, because like even Big Sean's song that dropped last week, Precision, dope as shit.
But he mentioned it too, like that's why I was like the date of his, the timing was.
I mean that part sucked for him, but but Big Sean,
he can rap.
He's straight.
Yeah.
No, Big Sean is a fucking boss.
Yeah, but
he's still not on the level of Kendrick,
the success, and
Cole. But I would love to see, because I've seen all 3 of them separately.
Right.
I would love to see all 3 of them on the same fucking bill, dog.
I would not like if that happens immediately after this, because I want this to be, because if you
want it to be a lyrical bloodbath.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
100%. So like, it wouldn't even have to be a tour right away. 100%. It could be a tour a year from now.
No, I need more than that.
I need more than that. I need breathing time.
More than that,
I need time to breathe.
I need the full summer for them niggas to be like. No, do you remember when 50 and Ja Rule?
Oh, I love that shit.
And that whole year, like mixtape after mixtape. That's what I need.
That's a beautiful time.
I
want
niggas.
They don't like each other though.
Right. They don't. They don't. But I don't know that Jake. I don't know that these niggas like each other either. And that's what I'm saying. If 3-4 months from now, these niggas do a tour together, then it just invalidates all of this to me.
Which I'm fine with.
I don't want them to, like, again, I don't want it to turn into violence.
Bible verse.
But I don't want, right, exactly. I'd be mad. I don't want it to turn to violence, but I want these niggas to be dissing each other all through the rest of the year. I want every verse, I want to break down every verse, every feature they on to see if they mention it. Like, that's the shit I want. I want to hear shots thrown for the rest of the year. So
Mark chapter 12, verse 30 and 31.
And with that, we're not even getting into the rest of this because it's time.
It's time.
It is time. But
it's been a good episode, though.
It's been a good episode. Shout out to everybody who has locked in, continue to rock with us. We hope you enjoyed this as much as we enjoyed doing it, because this has been fun. And we are going to continue to bring episodes to y'all, probably weekly if we can, and if not, every other week or whatever the time frame or cadence we get them to you, we're gonna do the best we can. So
that's it.
But shout out to y'all. Don't forget to subscribe. Like the episode, share it, send it to your friends. It is free. It costs you nothing to subscribe. It costs you nothing to share it and send it to some folks. And if you have any topics you want to hear us discuss, by all means, hit us up directly. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. I don't have anything else. I think this is it for me. You got anything?
Nah, man.
All right, this weekend we outside. We're going to be at Born to Party, brought to you by Holly Juve. Going down to Citizen and Culture. Got a bunch of DJs on the lineup. We're going to be outside party. And it's early.
Day party vibes.
Day party vibe. Hey, promoters, all summer long. Day party vibes. Figure it out. So
while the sun is out.
Right. And so with that, I'm Rich.
This is Dre.
And we are out.